feel like mining is so boring and not interesting right now, then this is the video to get you excited again. Because in this video, I sit down with Hobbyist Miner to tell you about 4 things that will get you hyped up about mining again, covering hardware, software, mindset, and more. All right, I'm here with Hobbyist Miner. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, always a pleasure talking to you. And of course, we're talking about 4 things to get you excited about crypto mining again. And I'll just start us off right away with try to sort of change your mindset about kind of what crypto mining actually is to you. So I know a lot of us got into crypto mining during the last bull run where, you know, profitability, we were just looking at profitability and we were looking at the ROI and we were like, man, I can make the money back on a 3080 in 2 months, and after that it's gonna make me $10 a day, and so I'll get, you know, 10 of those and I'll make $100 a day passive income. But try to sort of switch your mindset away from viewing crypto mining as a source of passive income, and rather look at it as a way of accumulating an asset that you want to hold semi-long term or long term, with the conviction that, you know, this asset will go up in the future. Now, of course, some of you don't have that sort of faith in crypto, but I think for most of you watching, you know, you got into crypto mining because you have some sort of faith in crypto, and you then therefore probably have, you know, the assumption or whatever that crypto will go up in the future. Excuse me, that crypto will go up in the future in terms of coin prices, right? So try to look at it that way. It's a way to sort of get a little bit of this asset each and every day that you then intend on holding, rather than that you're making X amount of dollars every single day.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think we're guilty of this, and many of us are throughout the community. Going back like 2.5 years ago when I started, at that point, I remember it was like January, February at that point, and you could plug in anything and it was like profitable. And when you looked at ROI, everyone's mindset at that point in time, when we started, I mean, when I started, the bull run was already like well into effect. We were well into it. And at that point in time, everyone's mindset then was like, it has to ROI in under a year to make it worth it. And if it was over a year, it was blasphemy, you know, which was crazy to think, because now skipping ahead to a point where nothing is really profitable. And at the end of the day, when the ROI gets so far out, it's really funny. I was watching, I think it was Panda's video the other day, and I was looking at ROI items, and it was literally saying never on ASIC miner value. It was like, that is a reality. Like, that is a true reality of the fact that a lot of these things are like 4,000 days or something like that. So it's a really hard concept for we as miners to swallow, to say, don't look at ROI right now, because you're not in it right now for the current profitability. You're in it for future profitability. And we don't know when that will be or how much that will be.
Yeah, or if that will be. And also, I kind of want to make a little thing clear here before we get flamed in the comments, that like, we're not saying to keep mining, losing, you know, hundreds of dollars every single day. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how, you know, depending on your electric rate or what hardware you have, or we're not really even talking about the sort of current sort of quote unquote profitability. What we're talking about is sort of more an overarching view of it, like a bit of a mindset shift that you need to take in order to get yourself excited about mining again, which is step away from looking at the dollar numbers. Just kind of make sure that wherever you're mining is profitable, and view it more as a asset accumulation strategy rather than a passive income strategy. So I think that puts the nail in what I think we wanted to make with that point. So let's move on over to the second thing to sort of get you guys excited about mining again, and that is that hardware prices are like really on the way down. Now, I remember at the peak, and this was a stupid decision on my part, and I take full responsibility. The most I paid, I think I paid $1,300 for a 3070 at one point. Those things, you can find those for like $280 now if you really search hard on like Facebook Marketplace and you know, places like that. Which
I remember
that I
back,
paid
actually,
like more than 4 times that is, you know, it doesn't feel great. But on the other hand, that was somewhat early on still, and I kind of made that money back mining on it, so I don't feel too bad about it. But yeah, just hardware prices have really come down, and I think that's something that you have really experienced, Hobbyist Miner, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, if you and I go back to some, I don't know when it was, when I got my first 3070, and those of you guys not familiar, like I had 3060s and under for the longest time. I had 4 gig cards for over the first year of my mining experience. And then I remember when I got a 3060 and I was like, wow, this is crazy. But go back, let's say, I don't know, maybe it was 6 months ago. Maybe it was when I was talking with you about getting a 3070 off of Newegg, and it was $550. And at that point you were like, wow, that's a great price. You should take it. And it was at the time, brand new one, like cards that was like unheard of, you know, and I was like, great, I got it. And it was my first 3070. But since then, I've been utilizing Facebook Marketplace to spend some money, accumulate assets, kind of like what you were just previously talking about, and getting 3070s, 3060 Ti's and such, because I'm seeing them, just like you said, anywhere between $250 and $300. And they've been there for a while now, but that's a great example of GPU hardware. Just everything has come down, and it's awesome. Take advantage of it. There's actually a lot of people that live for the bear market, where they will save up money till the bear market occurs, buy a bunch of hardware at low prices, and then sell during the bull market.
Yeah, so you're getting ahead of us now onto our third
point.
Whoa! Yeah.
All right.
No, that's totally fine. Like, that's a good segue. I just wanted to add in that it's not only GPU prices that are coming down now. It's more or less hardware prices across the board, CPUs and motherboards and that stuff too, but also ASICs and I don't know, helium miners or whatever. Like literally everything is going down in terms of price right now. And it doesn't seem to have kind of bottomed down just yet. So we might be in for some really cheap mining gear. And just like Hobbyist was sort of like hinting at, your hardware that you purchase can also be considered a asset that will increase in price. Now, of course, nothing in this video is going to be, you know, financial advice or anything along those lines. What we're doing is we're just discussing what we've seen happen previously. And the fact is that, like, in the previous bull market that we saw, whatever, like when was that? Whenever, right? Before this big bull run that we've seen now, like the past year or so. For example, RX 580s would sell for pennies almost, or like $25, $50 or something. And those GPUs during the recent bull market sold for, like, I mean, how much did you see them at most?
So 500 is where I saw a lot of them. I negotiated a lot down to about 350. That's how I accumulated my SFX 580s. Was I negotiated them down to 350, and now you're seeing them for $80, $100. I mean, it's crazy.
And well, we're not saying that specifically 580s could go up to $500 again, because they're probably 1 or 2 generations a little bit too old for that. But what's not to say that, like, just an example, 3070s might come down even further to $200 up like GPU, right? And then give it another couple of years when you know, potentially crypto might have another bull run, and now those 3070s might even sell for $800, $900 again, because the 3070s are still great mining cards. It just so happens that they're not very much profitable right now, unless you have very cheap power, of course. But in terms of overall competition for mining cards, they're among the best, kind of like the 580s were in the previous cycle.
Previous.
Then. So yeah, the point we're wanting to drive home here is basically just also the hardware that you buy can be an asset that can appreciate in price as well. And yeah, do you have anything else to mention on that, or should we move on to our fourth and final?
Yeah, I mean, with ASICs too, I mean, we don't want to write them off. A lot of people have been diversifying with ASICs, and taking a look at ASICs right now, I mean, I think you're seeing the largest depreciation in the cost right now. I mean, look at like an S19J Pro. I mean, those were over $10,000 during the bull run. Now, I literally am seeing them listed for places like Wattum and Bitmain around $2,000.
Yeah.
And you might be able to find some pre-owned deals that are even better. It's like, holy cow, like it is down, you know, at a massive amount. And do you have faith that Bitcoin's going to go back up? Sure, I think we all do. So that's an easy asset to shift your money into for an investment later down the road. So yeah, it's just as you said, everything is coming down right now from the hardware side of things.
Yeah, and I know that this is actually something that I've seen Panda mention before, how I believe it was a Litecoin ASIC. I can't remember which one right now, but in the previous bear market, those went for like, you could buy up like a 10-pack of them for like, I don't know, $200 or something. Okay. Getting rid of them like for scrap basically, but fully working. Yes, they weren't profitable because it was a bear market. Fast forward year and a half, those same ASICs you could now sell for like thousands of dollars because the whole Dogecoin, Litecoin massive pump happened. And people were just willing to pay whatever to get an ASIC to be able to mine those coins. So just as an example of how hardware could also be an investment there. So we've already covered how viewing mining as a way of accumulating an asset over time rather than as a passive income, and keeping in mind that the hardware you use to mine that crypto can also be viewed as an asset can really change your view on mining right now. And next up, we're also going to talk about all the cool innovation that is currently going on within mining, with tons of interesting new things coming out both in terms of hardware and software. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. Wattum. Are you worried about GPU mining profitability after the Ethereum merge? Wish you could get into direct Bitcoin mining, but you don't want to have a super loud ASIC heating up your house 24/7? Well, Wattum makes getting into Bitcoin mining super easy with their complete mining solutions. That includes offering you all the latest ASIC miners, mobile mining containers and power transformers, or, if you'd rather, they also offer complete hosting services or full facility build-outs. That means that you can run one of your miners in one of their many warehouses. Wattum is the largest distributor of Bitcoin mining equipment in the United States, with their team of over 100 mining experts offering exceptional customer service. They also offer installment payment plans, which makes getting into Bitcoin mining or scaling your current mining operation that much easier. So check them out at wattum.io/seb or by clicking the link in the video description. Our fourth and final point to get you sort of excited about the mining again, excited about this current landscape of mining, is that there is a lot of innovation happening right now. And I think what we kind of saw the past 2 years almost is that everyone just kind of like sets their GPUs to Ethereum, to mine Ethereum, and that's it. Like there doesn't need to be much else happening there. But now when, you know, things aren't easy like that, the mining developers, the pool developers, Hive-OS developers, they all have to get creative, come up with new ways, and we actually have a few examples here. The first one being how LOL Miner just all of a sudden cracked another like 20% of flux hash rate out of most cards. And
came out of nowhere, yeah,
pretty much out of nowhere. It's just like, oh, by the way, we figured out a way to get like significantly more hash rate out of a lot of like GPUs on this algorithm. And now Mini-Z has kind of, I guess, figured out that same thing too, because we just saw that happening. Another one being, of course, 2 miners offering Bitcoin payouts for a lot of other coins now too. So you could kind of switch between coins a bit more and still just get Bitcoin, which for a lot of people is a lot easier to hold, because it's hold or trade or sell, I should say, because it's supported on all crypto exchanges. If you have a crypto exchange that doesn't accept Bitcoin, you're probably doing it wrong, right? And what else did we have? We had some other examples there, didn't we?
Well, no, I think the miners, going back to that, was a great example. So the miners, going back to the actual miner itself, they had years with Ethereum in order to make it efficient and get the most hash rate out of it and everything. And now it's like, the Ethereum merge occurred, and we saw a little bit here and there occurring. But now, as things have settled, and we're now in kind of the age of altcoins, and altcoins aren't really a thing anymore. It's just coins, crypto. But now we're seeing, as you had said, a lot of these efficiencies come out and these innovations come out. So, and kudos to a lot of these mining developers that are actually spending the time on this, which is great because we, as the actual miners, get a chance to actually benefit from the fruits of their labor, which is fantastic. But who knows, just as you said, what's going to come next? Like, is there going to be a new miner that comes out, like hardware miner that comes out that is leagues ahead of others? That's the nice thing, is like we're in a world now where it is the most hash rate for the least amount of watts. And a lot of these manufacturers are conscious of that and looking at that, because you have to remember, with electric rates around the world up at astronomical numbers, it's not just, okay, hash rate. Now with innovation, it is, okay, what's the hash rate, but how much is it going to cost me? And that's a huge one there to really be looking at. And we're seeing a lot of these, a lot of the other content creators have gotten some of these light miners that are a lot more efficient, and that's really gone a long way, I think, with just innovation.
Yeah, that is a very true point. That I only mentioned the software side of innovation, but obviously there's the whole hardware side of innovation there too. And just like you say, we kind of have been seeing recently a lot of the hardware vendors focusing a lot more on efficiency rather than just how much hash rates can this new ASIC or whatever pump out, no matter the power consumption, right? And I think that is a very good point. We've also seen some ASICs that can do multiple algorithms, right? With those, I forget which ones it is now. It's gold shell or whatever, where it's like it gets some amount of hash rate on 𝐂𝐴 and some on star coin, or I forget the specifics of it there. But just to sort of give an example of how there's some innovation going on there, and this is when mining gets exciting, in my opinion. It's been a bit boring. It's been a bit just like set it and forget it, and you get a bit of Ethereum dripping in every week or so. But now we get to really like get into it, which is pretty cool. So Hobbyist, again, thank you so much for coming on and talking to me. Everyone, I'm sure you're familiar with him by now, but if you haven't already, please go subscribe to his channel. Lots of great content there. He just visited a massive mining farm, which that's going to be a really interesting series to see kind of how the big boys do it now during a bear market. So probably a lot of good things we can learn from that. So that's about it. Give the video one of these if you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one. Goodbye. Bye.